Hello dear viewers and students. If you are belonging to an academic career of Bachelors, Masters, M.Phil or even PhD degree, then today's video is really important for you because having a knowledge of critical book review is very important for a researcher. Even if you are a researcher who is conducting his or her research individually on any published book, even then this video is very helpful for you because developing the concept of critical book review is really important for you. So keep watching this video and you are gonna get this all information that you need for making a critical book review effectively and successfully. So basically this step is about discussing the author's situation. Few points I have mentioned here that you need to keep in your mind when you are going to read your critical book review. The holistic impression of this slide is like questioning, like queries in your mind that who, what, when, where. This doesn't specifically belong to this step, but this is just to give you an expression that this part of your critical book review, that is a start of your book review, and that would be consisting of one paragraph, should be concentrating on the following areas. Those all are related to basic queries. First of all, you need to keep in your mind that you have to explain the author's qualification. You might be knowing and you might be telling that what was the qualification of the author, was he eligible to present such level of qualitative, educative or literary book, was the book according to the requirement of the discipline, is the status of the author is like the way as it is being required by the discipline. So having a basic know-how regarding author, you have to move on towards explaining the situation of the book, and through these steps you might be completing this task. First of all, you need to highlight the purpose of the book, then you have to elaborate the scope of the book, and then you have to decide and you have to tell in your review that what is the placement of that book in that discipline. So giving its learning, highlighting the purpose of the book, why this book has been written by the author. Was he going to introduce a new theory? Was he going to give you some information? Was he going to discuss any scientific invention? Now, what is the scope of the book? Is this book limited to some specific area, some specific series, some specific theory, or it has some expanded scope that can be expanded in future as well for the educative collaborations, or for the social collaborations, or for some theoretical collaborations? Thirdly, and most importantly, if you are going to review a book that is related to discipline of political science, or to the discipline of IR, or to the discipline of social sciences, or to discipline of biological sciences, you might be knowing that what this book placement is even discipline, because knowing this is very important for you as a critical reviewer. Secondly, what you have to keep in your mind that in this section that is taking one paragraph, first starting one paragraph, following question must be answered. First of all, what is the motivation of the author for writing? As discussed above, does the author possess sufficient qualification to address the problem, as we discussed in first point? As to how the relationship between book and the discipline becomes relevant, it is about deciding or exploring the placement of the book in the discipline. So now we would move on towards step 2. Students, this step is about author's thesis. This is really important portion of your critical evaluation, students, because first of all you need to know the central theme or claim or thesis of the book that has author presented. What you have to focus on is the question that what is the author's proposed solution to the problem. This is very important because first of all having a knowledge about what actually the author is saying, expressing as his thesis, and what solution he is presenting to that thesis statement or situation or problem. So here we can relate this question through this example as written here. Through utilizing visual analysis, embodied communication theories, social case studies, and field surveys, Dr. Asif Shehzad solves the problem of political disorder due to media in Pakistani society by arguing that Ministry of Communication and media channels as a joint venture through necessary integration can bring political stability in the Pakistani society. Students, here you have to observe this is a very clear thesis statement. The first portion is discussing the problem that is existing in Pakistani society that is causing political disorder due to media, and the second portion is giving an appropriate solution to the situation, which suggests that Ministry of Communication and media channels should make an coordinated effort for resolving this issue of political destabilization. So students, now after sufficiently having recognition with the concept of the author's theme and the solution that he is given to the problem of his thesis statement, we should move on towards next step. Now students, the second portion, that is reviewer's thesis. The first part of the step was author's thesis and the second part is reviewer's thesis. What you have to answer in this portion and what you have to relate to this portion of your evaluation is to answer the question that what is the quality of the author's proposed solution to the problem. Students, this is very important for you to get learning of this thing in order to continue your evaluation. So we are going to discuss here step by step that you have to do. Offer your evaluated thesis in order to assess the quality of the author's thesis. How would you do this? Here we have given the example. The thesis statement given in the previous part of this step is hereby narrated in your own evaluative manner. So persuasively arguing for reducing political disorder in Pakistani society, Dr. Asif Shehzad successfully expressed the need of integration, motivating readers with an attainable solution involving mutual coordination of Ministry of Information and media channels. Students, you can see here that in this portion, but as a reviewer, the thesis statement of the author has been narrated. Both the things that have been discussed by author in first portion, as I told in previous slide, are hereby discussed by reviewer, that means you. This portion also discusses the both part of the thesis statement, problem area and the solution area. So following questions must be considered in this section by you. When you are going through this section, the second paragraph, students, keep in mind that this whole practice that is related to step 2, having two parts, author's thesis and reviewer thesis, should not be exceeding one paragraph. This is the ideal suggestion. So these questions must be answered by you in this section. Has the problem been understood by the author through multiple perspectives? Has a significant thesis been proposed by the author as a solution to the problem? So, students, you can see that both these points are very basic and very necessary to be answered in order to make a critical evaluation. If the author himself they don't have enough information or knowledge for addressing the problem through multiple perspectives, Then as to how you are going to pick that thing and make a valuation of that thing. And secondly is what is the significance of the thesis or the solution of problem. So having conclusion to this part, we can say that the basic requirement of your critical evaluation required by this step is having a better learning of author's thesis, what his main claim is, what solution he is offering to the problem, then your thesis as a reviewer, what you have learned and what you have to take forward as a evaluator. So students, now moving towards step 3.